Hello everyone. This is a 2016 CAT passage. Probably you will not get this passage anywhere else. This is a passage followed by three questions. So passage is given here on left hand. The questions are here given on the right hand. I want you to try this question on your own. Pause this video, take as much time as you want, and then come back for the explanation. Now, I assume here that you have attempted this question on these three questions by yourself. Now, let me start the explanation. Whenever you read the passage, you have to read the passage to understand the structure, right? Even if you glance through the passage, you will come to know that the passage has these words such as second, and then there's a word third. So if there is a word second and third, then there must be a word first, right? So why these three words are given? Because before the word first, the author says, let me offer 3 points, right? So for what the author is giving 3 points? Now before this statement, there is a statement that the new goal on education. So there is a goal on education, and let me offer three starting points, which means these three starting points should be about achieving this goal. Now, why does the author is talking about why is the author is saying the new goal on education? There is a word so. Therefore, the answer of that question is here. Why the goal is new? So, and here in the first paragraph, there is a word but. Words such as but, yet, however, on the other hand, are important clue words to know the focus of a paragraph. So if you look at this paragraph, the paragraph says the bad news. So bad news, which means there is a problem. So what is the problem? Millions of children are starting school year after year, but not really learning. So children are going to school, they're starting school, however, they are not learning. So it's a problem. And if there is a problem, then there are two possibilities. The author is giving the causes of the problem, reason why children are not learning, or he is giving solution. What should we do in order to solve the problem? And if you look at here, immediately in the next paragraph, the author says, let me offer three starting points, goal, etc. Suggest that the author does not mention causes. He gives a solution. So this paragraph is actually a problem solution passage. What is the problem? Children are going to school but they are not learning. उनकी learning नहीं हो रही है. So the goal, solution is given. That is enough to solve such questions like question number 3. What is the main idea of the passage? So let us take this question first. Now let us look at option A. Children are going to school but very few are actually learning. That is true. So this option A is, but this cannot be the answer because it only gives a problem, not solution. This only defines problem, but the paragraph is also about solution to the problem. All these paragraphs talking about solution, goal, how to achieve that goal. So option A is eliminated. B, hundreds of children are going to school, but a few are learning. It is trying to give the problem, but even the problem is not given correctly. Now, a few, here it is written a few. Here it is written few. Now, a few actually means some. And it is written when you are positive. And few means hardly any. So, you should know grammar as well. Right? A few means some. So, in a way, here you are suggesting that hundreds of children are going to school. Some are learning. But the author is actually saying that they are not really learning. So option B is not even close to the answer because it is not giving even the problem correctly. So problem B incorrectly mentioned kiya hai, so it is eliminated. Option A is eliminated. C, sufficient funding should not be the only focus of reaching the learning goal. C says it is not the only focus. Then what should be the focus? So the paragraph is about what should be done to achieve the goal. The paragraph is not simply about what should not be done in order to achieve the goal. So C is incomplete, C is eliminated. The answer of the question number 3 is the last option, D. To reach the learning goal fast, learning goal. Why learning goal? Because the problem is that students are not learning. To reach the learning goal fast, beyond spending on education, we must do research on how to achieve the learning goal. So D must be the answer because it is focusing not only on the problem but also on solution. So once you know the structure of the paragraph, you can solve questions like main idea questions very easily when you know the structure of the passage. Now let us look at other questions. Now question number one, I call such questions purpose behind some let's say example, or you can say here there is a word analogy. Analogy is comparison, or some fact or some evidence, right? So the in the passage कई बार एग्जाम्पल्स दिए होते हैं, एनालॉजीज दी होती है, मतलब कंपैरिजंस दिए होते हैं, फैक्ट्स दिए होते हैं, एविडेंस दिया होता है, रिसर्च दिया होता है. Now the question, there is a frequently asked question, what is the purpose behind those examples, analogies, facts, research, etc. So जो example, analogy, fact, research mention किया है, उसके पीछे purpose क्या है? And this is what is this question. The author gives an analogy to से लेके renewable तक ऑथर ने एनालॉजी दी हुई है in order to means purpose. Now whenever such questions are asked, we should first locate वो एग्जाम्पल एनालॉजी कहाँ दी हुई है, और उसके बाद you have to go, you have to see some a sentence before that example or analogy. Generally the purpose lies before the example or analogy, or sometimes the purpose lies after that example or analogy or fact. अब ये analogy कहाँ दी हुई है? To address the problem of climate change. Now that is given here. To address the problem of climate change, it may take some time to find out where that example, analogy or fact is given, but you have to do that. Now this particular analogy, example, fact is given here to address the problem of climate change. So यहाँ से लेके actually almost यहाँ तक, to address the problem of climate change. So this is the analogy comparison. The question is, why does the author gives? What is the purpose? Now इसके बाद तो कुछ भी नहीं लिखा हुआ इस paragraph में, but there is some this particular portion of this paragraph, okay, is must be having this particular portion of the paragraph must be having the purpose. So as I repeat that the purpose is generally before the analogy or example or after the analogy or the example. अगर ये analogy है तो उसके पहले उसका purpose होना चाहिए, okay, because इस analogy के बाद कुछ भी नहीं लिखा हुआ है, at least in this paragraph. Now what these 3 lines are written, let us read these 3 lines. Research will be an integral part of reaching learning goals. Learning goals तक जाने के लिए research चाहिए. Why research चाहिए? Because knowing what you need to know isn't the same as knowing it or knowing how to do it. Whenever there is or, always focus on what is written after or. तो after or क्या लिखा हुआ है? Knowing how to do it. Knowing what you need to know isn't the same as knowing how to do it. So you know something, but that does not mean that you know how to do it. So how to do, knowing how to do is very important. So this is written in the context of reaching learning goals. So आपको ये पता है कि learning goals तक आपको जाना है, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आपको ये पता है वहां तक कैसे जाना है. That is what is the point here. In order to support this point, the author mentions the analogy of climate change. But there is no point reading the analogy of the climate change because the paragraph is not about climate change. The paragraph is about learning goals. So first eliminate those options which are focusing unnecessarily on climate and climate change. For example, option A is eliminated, climate. Option C, climate change, right? The author mentions climate change not to talk about climate change, but to talk about how to reach learning goals or importance of knowing how to reach learning goals, right? Now 2 options are left here. One is option B and option D. What is option B? Emphasize the need to do research. Okay, research, the word research is mentioned here. Emphasize the need to do research in the field of education. Now, in the field of education is very broad. Here the author says that you require research to reach learning goal. Now, learning goal is specific. फील्ड ऑफ एजुकेशन में बहुत कुछ है, सिलेबस है, यूनिवर्सिटी है, कॉलेजेस है, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. In the field of education, the paragraph is specifically about learning. So when the given idea is specific, don't choose the option that is general. So option B is eliminated. The answer is last option D. So the author mentions this analogy to highlight a point that setting up the goal of making children learn, right? Setting up the goal of learning itself won't let us know how to achieve the goal. So सिर्फ गोल मेंशन करने से हमें उस गोल तक कैसे जाना है वो पता नहीं होगा. How to achieve this goal? We will not know how to achieve the goal by simply setting up the goal. That is what is discussed here. So therefore the answer of question number 1 is last option D. Now let us quickly look at question number 2. Which of the following can be inferred from the passage? Now if you know the main idea, such questions become easy. Now let us look at option A. Teachers' salaries should not have been increased in Indonesia. Now, why will the author say that salaries should not be increased? The author says that funding will alone not enough, which means he does not say that funding is not necessary. So you require funding, but that alone may not be enough. So author will not say this, that salaries should not have been increased. The author may say that increase in salaries may not solve the problem because funding alone may not solve the problem. So option A is eliminated. B, the fact that there are many children who are still excluded from schooling is the most serious problem. The serious problem for the author is they are not learning. Okay, they are out of school is not the problem. In fact, he says that every child goes to school. That's good news. So option B is opposite to what is written in the paragraph. It is eliminated. Drastic steps need to be taken in order to know how to achieve an educational goal with the correct focus of learning. Here it is written, an education goal with the correct focus on learning will not be enough without radical changes to how we achieve it. So this C option is clearly given here. That's the reason words such as but, yet, however are important. Option C should be the answer. He reasons why students are not learning are mysterious. This, here there is a, printing mistake. The reasons why students are not learning are mysterious. Now, option D is eliminated because I have told you at the beginning that the author is talking about the problem, not causes. So nowhere in the paragraph the author says the causes of this problem are mysterious. In fact, he does not discuss causes. He straight away comes to solution. So once you know the structure, the main idea, you can actually quickly eliminate the option D. Reasons are not mentioned because the passage is about problem and solution. D is eliminated. A and B are already eliminated. The answer of the question number 2 must be C option.